Hi, good evening. I'd like to welcome you to Poem Praise 2. I do thank you for tuning in, and peace and blessings be upon you and your family this evening. Now we are going to get right back into the Blackman's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. We are now in chapter number 15, which is entitled Her Sex. This is take number 1 of chapter 15, and it goes like this. Let's dive right in. The black woman spends a great deal of her days and nights being aware of her sexuality. She throbs nearly involuntarily as a result of all she has learned from other black women and girlfriends her age. She is impressed that her sex is a bona fide point of leverage she can wield against a black man to get her way. She will use her sexuality to snare a black man and will misrepresent the intensity of her sexual desire to get his attention. She lays sexual traps for him and behaves blatantly like a troll-up when she is alone with a black man she is trying to lure. She is cunning and plots to get him in bed because she believes that once she has sex with a black man, it will give her certain rights in his life. Since she connects sex with love, when she deceptively persuades the black man to sleep with her, she thinks that she has convinced him to love her, or at least show a measure of love that she thinks is bonding. Since she is such a pseudo-romantic creature, she cannot be trusted in the presence of strange men for a long length of time, because she is always open for a line, especially if it's one telling her how beautiful or desirable she is. She believes anything a black man tells her if he looks good to her physically. She is easily flattered, but will pretend that compliments are not really important to her and have no bearing on whether or not she is attracted to a black man. Without exception, if a black man pursues her long enough with compliments, flowers, phone calls, and the like, she will ultimately go to bed with him. She enjoys the special attention and wants to believe that he will compliment and admire her forever. Many black men she meets or sees walking down the street are envisioned as her lover. For a split second, she imagines having sex with him, considers how he might act in bed, and either lines him up for follow-up or rejects him as anything other than a friend. She gives off body language that sends unspoken messages translated to mean that the possibility, however remote, of sex is being considered and potential exists. The black woman claims that the black man is such a dog because, in her view, he will always go for the promise of sex from a woman, even if he does not know her very well. She believes he is famous for one-night stands and will sneak off and have an illicit encounter and then return to her as if nothing ever happened. She hates this potential in the black man and calls him a low-down hound for this kind of behavior. She sees herself as above this kind of animalistic practice. Sex means more to her than that, or so she says. The truth of the matter is that the black woman practices the exact same type of behavior if given the right opportunity. She will sneak around more cleverly than the black man, which is why she doesn't get busted as often. She may have no problem trying to have two men at the same time if she thinks her man is fooling around with another woman behind her back. She will try to pay him back by having another man even if she doesn't really want to. She just can't allow him to be one up on her. Plus, she enjoys the feeling it gives her to see him carrying on his normal life without knowing what she has done or is doing. She tries to compete in this fashion, although it may turn her life into a chaos trying to live double, because she does not have the capability to love two or more men at the same time. So one of the men she is dealing with is purely for fornication purposes. She will go to bed with one man on Friday, another on Saturday, and the following Monday, or maybe even the same night, and still pretend to be outraged and shocked about the black man's deviation with another woman. Her double standard is built on falsehood and an image she thinks she has to preserve about the honorability of womanhood. Part of her falsehood is her belief that black men desire sex more often than she does. So she can never admit to him or herself that her own sex drive is a powerful motivating factor in her life and decisions as well. She brags on her sexual conquests in the same way the black man is rumored to brag about his. She will explain to her friends in great detail about her activities in bed with the black man. She especially likes to tell about the size of his penis, what he says while copulating, his stroke, and whether or not he performed oral sex well. They go into a minute-by-minute, blow-by-blow description about the encounter. If he does any oddities, I think that's the word, I'm going to spell it for you, it's ODDITIES. She calls him nasty and other horrible names, and she and her friends laugh at him. It is a rare black woman who does not tell her private sexual life with a black man. So if a black man has a woman with a best friend or several close friends, he can be sure that they know all about his bedroom action, down to the most intimate detail. However, she only vaguely confesses her own part or tells what she did. Black women do not ask each other what they do in bed. They only discuss what he does. Another highly deceptive activity she takes part in is to have sex with a man and pretend by her sounds or words that it feels better than it does. If she really wants the man, she will continue to mislead him about his wonderful libido and then talk about how he turns her off when he does this or that. She won't explain to the black man what makes her feel good and may not even tell him when it's painful. She thinks it is something she has to endure. She doesn't want to hurt his feelings. She tolerates the pain without flinching. Pretend to have an orgasm. Reach a climax. For fear if she tells him the truth, she might lose him. However, if he does not satisfy her sexual cravings, she will seek out and receive sexual gratification with another man or woman. Some of them are in marriages or relationships which last several years and never reveal her dissatisfaction about their sex life. She claims that her lacking sex life is unimportant as long as he takes care of the bills, is a father to the children, and remains married or with her. She secretly hopes that one day he will figure it out on his own and do what she wants him to do. This hardly ever happens, and if it does, she becomes suspicious that he learned from another woman, which in most cases he has. Nevertheless, he is charged with the ineptitude for not satisfying her sexually. She will also use sex as a weapon against the black man if it is her most useful tool, she thinks. If he angers or displeases her, she will automatically go into sexual shutdown. She will try to punish him by denying him sex until he submits to her ideal or does what she wants him to do. She will continue this game for days or weeks when she feels it is necessary to make a point or whip him into submission. She is satisfied if the black man literally comes limping back to her, crawling on his hands and knees, begging her to go to bed with him. The black man should beat her at her own game when she displeases him. He should deny her sex and see what happens. He will see fireworks like he never imagined. She is much more vicious when under the pressure of lack of sexual expression and is known to act like a plump fool if her bottom is not happy. Another truism is that if she continues to deny her man sex for an inordinate length of time but continues to live with him, sleep in the bed with him every night, dress in the same room and slyly tease him, and still say no, she may want him to overpower her physically and take it. She wants to be ravished sometimes, even if she claims it is against her wishes. The black man should remember that if he is familiar with her schedule and she's not seeing anyone on the side, she is also punishing herself when she denies him sex. This is not to say that she wants to be viciously raped, but she does want her man to let her know that the pleasures of her vagina are a prized possession to him. And that is going to complete take number 1 of her sex of chapter 15. So please stay tuned for take number 2 of her sex. And you can like or subscribe, then you'll know when I'm coming with take number 2 of her sex. So until then, I want you and your family to be blessed. And later, y'all. Till next time.